He's like, I had family, so I was like, I can't get you guys tickets this game.
On field level, depends on.
That'd be fun. Fun game. It'll be exciting either way.
The car's been there.
It's an amazing story.
Yes, it is.
And it's gonna be a
So
hard.
I've been, this piece is.
Let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. Call the meeting to order. Do the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's go ahead and, you guys all saw the agenda. Let's go ahead and get the agenda approved. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Can we ever, I know I brought it up in the past and we talked about it just briefly here and there, but can we ever consider adding that section about the comments of citizens? Know that now that our meetings are streamed and they're open to the public, but you know, they are to the public is what they were. Is that a possibility just to add that? I mean, I know we've got 3 at East Count West citizens that they may or may not want to say anything, or just, I don't think it'll hurt anything if there's no one wants to speak. Is that something we can do?
Well, we had talked about, based on the Indiana's rules, the way to come out that they need to try to get them on here the month before or on the agenda, because I know Betty had requested as well, and I already sent this out already when she had requested it, and so she's definitely going to be on next month, and I had 2 others that were going to be on for next month, which we're going to discuss bylaws and place of time and meeting and all of that. And the reason that is that we haven't, given them the appropriate time to do it, and we would like to know what the topic's going to be as well. So I would like to continue that, but I'm president right now, but we're going to have new election of officers here in just a minute, so that's a topic we could definitely bring up the next time around if you want to do it.
Yeah, I'd be glad to. I don't know, I just feel like it's something that's important to do.
So are you saying, Chris, that you would like a standing part of the agenda to be public comment?
Yeah, just like, the commissioners, the councils, and well, a lot of all the boards do that. I mean, the majority of you that I've seen, that I sit on have.
I feel like it's required at some point, but maybe not.
I don't know if it's required, but
It's all wasted for years.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 years ago, we added it, so that's required. But
yeah, I thought they added that.
So current state is you can reach out to the correct me if I'm wrong here. Anybody in the public can reach out to the president prior to the meeting and request to be put on the agenda. Correct. So we have a process for it now. It's just not wide open.
Right. We try to get it on so that, we can do the appropriate time and all of that as well. So, I like to keep it that way, but, we have election of officers, we can put it on the agenda next month and let everybody vote on it.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're doing a switch here now. We're gonna go to the election of officers. So we got 4 positions available. So we need some motions here for the, I guess the first one will be the president of the CBB. So we need a motion to have some, who we want to nominate for president. I'd like to make a motion. I'll make a motion that we nominate Barry Stiles as president of the CBB. Need a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Any other motions, I guess, first? No other motions? All in favor of having Barry as president of the CBB?
Could
Say
I
aye.
see hands, please?
See hands, only say aye.
Okay, thank you.
That carried. That carried. Okay, need a motion for the vice president of the organization of CBB. I need a motion for someone.
I'll make a motion for Stan, or for, yes, replacement, Bradley.
No, I'll make a motion or nomination for Cindy with an aye.
Okay, we got 2 motions. We got any other motions? Okay, we'll do a show of hands then. motion for vice president for Stan, show your hands.
Stand for second.
Hey, Brad, we'll get it figured out. We just gotta get.
Okay, let's,
Yeah.
here we go, guys.
Everybody,
Yeah,
You vote for yourself?
I mean, is that-
how many that,
That's cool.
that gave us 4, so that motion carried then, so Stan will be vice president.
Right.
I got Stan on my mind.
You're gonna write him off.
I know.
Do I want to be on this board or not?
What the next one is.
The treasurer.
We need a motion for the treasurer.
I'm going to nominate Steve to stay there. So,
We need some other motions for the treasurer.
She's nominated you. right?
Yeah, she nominated
Any
me.
other nominations?
No other nominations? Show of hands for Steve, I guess.
one.
Yeah, okay. All right. That carried. We need a motion for the secretary.
Make the motion, Cindy Taylor.
Motion for Cindy Taylor with a Y. Any other motions for secretary? All in favor of Cindy Taylor as a Y for secretary, show your hands. Motion carries, okay, that's it. So, man,
Is, this happens now,
yeah,
not next month? All right, next item on the agenda is to approve minutes from December 11th. Can I get a motion?
Apologize for the length and, I'm taking all the time.
Or if you need a minute or two to go through them? That's fine too.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I repeat a second motion.
Well, I'll second.
Any discussion in the minutes? All in favor of approving the minutes from December?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the financial report, payment approvals, and the like.
Okay, everything made then. Since this meeting is the 8th and, we normally get a lot of the bank statements and things of that nature, so we don't have all the information at this particular time, but I will go over bills that are outstanding here that we need approval on. So I think we'll just do it one at a time. First one's the city of Tell City for the rent for $833.33. Motion, I'll make a motion to approve that.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I'm abstaining.
One abstain.
Okay. The next one is for $103.14, which is the fiber. Need a motion, I make a motion on that.
Second.
I'll second you first.
All in favor?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We got a payment here, do we want to talk about this now?
I would
We don't
make
need a
so
motion.
Wes starts.
Yeah, we don't need a motion on that. There's also a bill in here from Jan's Graphics for the brochure to make the county map design for the brochure. There's a charge of $575 on that, so I need a motion to approve that.
Say that again. 5.
I'm gonna let Eric explain.
So when we were laying out the brochure, the graphic designer came to me and said, "Hey, do you have the map?" And I went on a search for a map of Perry County that you could modify. That's not a PDF and stuff. And I talked to emergency services. I talked to the auditor. I talked to this person, that person, and could not come up with a map that we could use. And she had to design the map, place the different things on there. So and she, that was back in, I don't even know the exact month, but we just got the bill for it now. So that's what that is.
So that cost is $500 and some odd in addition to our brochure cost. Is that correct?
Correct.
So that puts our brochure cost at what, 25,000?
No. Oh, yeah, with the order. I was lumping that sum together with the graphic designer cost versus, the cost of having it printed as two separate, entities, two separate.
What's the cost of brochure too? So we know the next time that we order them, if we need to take it to another vendor and negotiate rates. You see what I'm saying? I would just like to know the total cost of the brochure. Production.
The total cost on that was, what, 7,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, for the
printing of it.
So do we own that?
Yeah, and we have that map, and with the graphic designer being our web designer, we could use that map for all kinds of things. Like, there's supposedly I won't get into that, but like for our website now, we can have a map with hiking trails or cemeteries and this and that, and that's our map that we own and we can use and stuff, so.
So how much are we paying Mary?
It was, whatever that bill was, 500.
575.
If that's for the map.
That's
Correct.
correct. That's correct.
That's in addition to the other cost for the
cost
brochure
of
layout.
designing the brochure, correct.
And I just to speak it in plain English here, I think we went into this thinking there was a map. She was told there was a map that could be used. In looking for that map, there was not one we could use. So Eric had her design a new map.
Yeah.
And that's what this charge is. It's with the brochure, but actually kind of separate too.
Did we get the second?
We didn't get it first at all.
Oh.
Thanks so much.
I'll make a motion to pay the invoice for the Chance by Design.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? We have an invoice here as well from the ITA for membership. Since we're going to the event coming up here in the near future, it's for $835. So I need a motion to approve that as well.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We have an invoice here for the Perry County News. I guess it's the paper that we get in to the depot, is that correct?
That is going down once.
Once a week. Okay. I guess we've been doing this in past, is this correct, Eric? We want any discuss, do we want to continue this, or do we want to have any discussion, or do we have a motion to approve it?
How much is it? Yeah.
It's, I'm sorry, it's $54.99 for 1 year. 6 months it's $30, and 3 months it's $17. So it's just got an annual rate on there of $54.
About $1 an edition, right?
Motion we approve annual rate.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
We don't have any invoice for Southern Indiana Travel. That ad those 4 ads were approved in the budget. We don't have an invoice from them?
Do we have any Southern Indiana travel?
Yeah, me too.
No, we do not, Cindy.
I have a hard time hearing down here. I don't know why.
Yeah, we can't
I don't, if I almost go down on the market, I'm sorry. Well, that is, so I can't hear right. Maybe it's the old and that boat.
The age, Got yours? All right, any other discussion on financials?
We'll have all of the financial information next month.
Wes is here and on the agenda is a direct deposit. Now we go back to it.
Okay. So,
We'd like to have the director's check taken out directly.
Okay.
Just the ins and outs of that. Don couldn't give me a lot of information. He said that was okay.
So to do an ACH, you have to have a processing platform of some sense. And so those all typically require a subscription to be entered into. So the bank will do it. We have to see what the rates are. If they give discounts for nonprofits, I want to say they're like $40 a month plus a 15 cents or 25 cents per transaction fee.
We're not a nonprofit.
That's just, well,
Not anymore.
Right.
or government.
Or government, yeah. There's usually a different kind of platform within banks for government nonprofits. So they might have a different rate option on there. Some banks do it for free when you're government or nonprofit, so everybody's got different kind of platforms. Ramp has that as an offering inside their platform. I believe that is a per user per month fee. We start engaging in their paid platform. So there's a base fee plus a per user per month, and so we would just activate one user if we're going to go that route. So that would be an option. We could do it within our payroll software. There is an option for that. But again, that's going to be a base fee plus a per employee or contractor fee is kind of how it all works. So your cheapest option to allow for ACHs is probably going to be engaging with the bank, but I don't know what that rate's going to be if they give preferential treatment or what their current rate platform is. German American.
Because we're paying Eric, but we're paying his company, really technically, right?
He's independent.
Yeah.
So this would allow for ACH payments to all, and see QuickBooks does offer this as well in the online platform. I don't know if they've stretched it out to the desktop.
There's no taxes taken out because it's a contract, right? So it's just like,
Having an ACH to pay our invoices, like what we just approved in some way.
Yeah, this would allow you to ACH any invoice for anybody who enrolled in that or would chose to enroll.
okay. So that's like
So-
a need for someone. Chance by design, or some form of recurring bill.
There is one that
Well, if you're gonna get
some cost on that. I'd love to.
If you guys are interested, I can try and look and see what JV's price would be. I can look at Ramp. Your two best options are gonna be either using Ramp's bill pay module, which allows for that, or using JV's module.
Do we just want this because of convenience?
Yes. And we have to checks next time.
Well, it's also
You still got to cut
getting that
checks.
2 signatures, which we kind of run into, which it hasn't been real bad, because Don's been cutting it quicker.
Yeah.
So I've been able to bring it to the meeting for that one signature, then the other signature would get put on right before we give it to him. So either way, I just wanted to discuss.
Do you want me to talk to German American or just doesn't?
If you want to talk to them and I can chat with Ramp, that would be fine. And then we can both kind of see where they land.
So the takeaway here then is I'll reach out to the folks at German American and determine what the processes are to transition this to a direct deposit for the sheriff. Right?
Might give you something to do, keep you busy.
Any other financial discussion? Not, we'll move on. The next item on the agenda is the depot lease. I believe our lease is up on April the 12th. The discussion from last meeting, if you recall the minutes, is that there's some question from the board as to whether we should stay at the depot or move. And if we were, the way the contract reads now, Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, is that if we vacate the depot, then we need to get a 60-day notice. Is that pretty much it in a nutshell? And so the discussion was, until we can really get our arms around or our head around where Eric's office is going to be, would it be feasible for us to go to a month-to-month lease after April 12th? If not, If not, then we need to make a decision by next month. So that's the discussion. So, anybody got any thoughts on that?
I mean,
I guess, does the mayor have any thoughts on
I mean,
that?
I personally think it's nice to have the depot. I think it's a, you know, if we go to move and stuff, you know, you have some address changes that might cause some work there to be done, you know, not a lot, but it would be extra work. But I mean, I'd love to see it open for people to come down there. It's a visitor center, and I know we're not, I don't know if we're open to the public or not, you know, the sign turn that says open, come on in would be really nice for people that's come to this community and just want to go in and pick up brochures or speak with Eric about, you know, what's there to do here. Regardless of where we land, I think that's important. But I like the depot. I think it's easy, identifiable, accessible. It meets, you know, all the ADA and all those kind of requirements that, you know, you want to have, I think. So until we go, if we find a place that's better, I mean, as far as in aesthetics or better in location and stuff like that, I just hate for us to move to a less desirable spot just for a temporary moment and have to move again. It seems like a lot of movement.
That's the purpose, I think, for us to inquire about the month to month.
If
we can get that concession, but if we can agree on that, then that gives us time to really work through this.
I've kind of tried to remove myself, just trying to be, you know, conflicts in that citywide, but the last time they did that, I think they sat down with the clerk treasurer, Connie, and she was, so if you sit down with her, I mean, I can't speak for Connie and how everything's built, but I feel the city probably open to it, but I think this conversation should probably be shared with just Connie and go from there.
Would it be Connie or would it be the legal?
We meet with Jeff too. I think they both sat down that last time, it seemed like.
Yeah, Jeff put the contract.
Yeah, I think Connie was part of the team. You and Jeff kind of think, yeah, it worked out fine. It didn't, there was no.
Well, if that's the case, then I'd like to ask the board for anyone who'd like to volunteer to reach out to either Connie or Jeff and have that discussion. Would anyone be interested in doing that?
As the president, you will be signing the president is the one that should be negotiating.
You'll be adding my homework.
Yeah, Mary's part of your salary as president.
Yeah, right.
Yes, he didn't tell you that, did he?
Absolutely.
I mean, since I did the last one.
So I have something to say about it.
Good.
I have people say to me all the time, why is it not open? And I asked Eric this morning, you know, because I stopped in there a couple different times and it's not open. And I don't know, you know, how the public is supposed to stop. I was in Santa Claus land yesterday. I stopped in there and I understand we're not Santa Claus land, but even in the winter months, there is somebody there and open every day of the week, Monday through Friday. We don't have that. If somebody wants to pick up a brochure, I mean, I'm not even opposed to us hiring somebody else if we've got Eric going somewhere else. Somebody needs to be there. They need to have the building open so people can pick things up. Brochures, whatever, a map. They don't know what to do in Tell City. I have people, I'm not originally from here, and I have people come here all the time from out of town, and they say, so what is there to do? Well, you know, I just feel like we're really missing the boat here on that depot. It should be open.
I would like to make a statement, and I think what this board needs to decide is, do we want to have a visitor center for folks to come into and meet a man and stuff like that, or do we want to have an office that I could work out of, that I share all the stuff that's in this county, all those banners that we have, this website that's getting ready to come out, the brochure, those pictures, those places, you know, that did not happen in the confines of the office. That was out in this county, at the river, in the woods, on a kayak, on Steve's boat, getting out and around the county. And I mean, this visitor centers, we stop all the time when we go on road trips to visitor centers and stuff. I see the value in that. I think that the question with the depot is, what was it, what is it now, and what is it going to be? And I think we know that what it was a gift shop and an awesome visitor center. I mean, that place is beautiful. It's a wonderful place. that people really enjoyed when the train was here. And it made sense to have a visitor center and the foot traffic and the gift shop when the train was here. Well, the train is no longer here, not to bring up the train, but it is a train depot. Right now it is an office. I am in there. I have been in there every day this week. I do go in early. I came in this morning at 5 because the weather's been nice. So I get out and about in the afternoon and evening. But, I reached out to the ITA, Cary Grant, and I said, do you know of any other counties that have had like downsized from visitor centers? Because I understand that Santa Claus or Spencer County rather, they built that building or they moved in, that was within the last year or so, and it is a fantastic facility. They also have, I believe, 3 staff on board there. And she connected me with Haley Anderson from Grant County, which is up where James Dean is from Grant County, and that's where Jim Davis, Garfield fame. And she said, we have not had, the Grant County CBB has not had an official open to the public visitor center since 2012. She goes on to say, quite simply, Grant County does not have the consistent foot traffic to sustain a traditional visitor center model. Maintaining a publicly staffed walk-in location just didn't align with how our visitors were actually accessing information or how our resources could be used. And then she went on to say, well, we do maintain open to the public, or we do not maintain open to the public hours. The office allows myself and other employees to work more efficiently and collaboratively. Just as importantly, it gives us a dedicated space to meet with visitors by appointment, as well as festival organizers, partners, and our stakeholders, without relying on a space rented from another organization. This approach has allowed us to remain visible, accessible, and professional, while being realistic about the community size, visitor behavior, and budget efficiency. In our case, it has been a practical evolution rather than a step back.
I can see why we can't have both in some ways,
Yeah.
have, the office is open to the visitors, welcome center, whatever you want to call it, is open like Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, maybe Mondays and Tuesdays, that's your office days that, you can meet with people those days, but you could still, do office stuff, that you're planning to work on or.
But I wanna say this also, Harry. The new kid on the block, when that facility was built, we had no train. That facility was there for a long time before we ever had a train. That's not what that facility was built for. Just in case we ever got a train. So to say, well, we had a train, train's gone and all that, that's irrelevant. That building was built for a open facility for the public to come, find out what was available in this county, and it's not being utilized at all. And
So Linda, do you, in your mind, are you, maybe to Chris as well, is it your thinking that Eric should man that or that we should hire someone?
I don't know. As a board member, I think us as a board, we need to vote and decide if we want to hire somebody, part-time to be there to keep the facility open so that people can go in, pick up, the festival guide or brochures or whatever, but we don't have that. I mean, we really don't.
No, we don't, because it's closed. Right, because basically what happened was, and again, not to pick this hard too much, that, the decision was made to close the gift shop because of financial reasons. And so that was closed. We were without a director. We hired Eric as the director. And I don't think anywhere in his job description did we say that he would be in charge of the gift shop. So that, I think it's good for a discussion regarding, do we need a visitor center and how do we staff it? If we do.
I'd like to say you look at some type of more virtual, hands-on, when someone would come in there, they could have like a VR headset that would maybe take them through the Hoosier National Forest somewhere in Perry County, then they could also go see it in person, but kind of give them a little bit of an experience down there more than take a different turn on tourism and how you do it. People come in for an experience there,
So would you
interactive hands-on things.
Would you market it to bring people in?
Yeah.
Or would you?
Yeah, you depends on, you just gotta get creative in different things, like a hands-on virtual, even some way, but different experiences. They have something similar to that in supported. It's not part of their visitors, I don't think, but it's I forgot what it's called. I've been years ago. It was really interesting. I thought, and maybe we could be a different thing that they don't do anywhere else in Indiana yet. Make us a destination for something like that. Be the model. Build something unique, not just same
That
old.
would
same.
require,
Yes,
Chris,
you have-
something I noticed you kind of.
Yeah.
That would require
Hold on just a second.
another employee or can I offer a compromise for the present to leave off the past, not talk about the future, but for the present right now? And that is some brochure containers. Because that seems to, what I'm hearing a lot is the brochure for, people picking up stuff. We have a lot of those holders, but none capable of weathering. If we could look into purchasing some of those to have at different locations, including the depot, outside the door. So when people come up, if that's their intention of coming up, the brochure's there, any other literature that we would have to put in that. We could also, depending on cost, we could put them in front of different stores or businesses at every location. I mean, out to the north of the county, very
So
south,
expensive.
go east, go west. We could have those readily available once they come in. Just a suggestion, just an
Cindy, how
idea.
many slot units? I mean, are you looking one that has 25 slots or
Well,
one?
I'm just throwing it out there. I have, I mean, I don't know. Right now, we have a brochure coming. What other literature that we could put the visitor's guide in? I think that's really cool. We got it in.
That's
Or the festival
yeah, that's what I was gonna
guide,
say.
I'm sorry.
That's,
Yes, the festival guide. So it's just a suggestion.
I think it's that mix of several things could be a really cool combination. I like where you're going with that, Cindy, because there's always going to be times where, even on a Sunday, that Eric or we wouldn't have anybody there probably at all. We never really did all the time on Sundays, so that would be an option because there are a lot of people that just go on bike rides, in the summer months. Because we are a wonderful county to take your motorcycles and stuff in. So
I'd like to see us eventually get more centrally located in the county or even up closer to the interstate. We talked about that in the past, and that's, I think, why we had month to month on there as well. And in our conversations in the past, we talked about maybe somebody else possibly going in there and utilizing that facility. If it would be someone from a city office that would do that, maybe they could still have the brochures and all of that as well. With the new brochure we're coming out with, and also with the new website we're coming out with, and also the digital marketing program that we're looking at implementing this next year, that all of those have, since we have our own cell number and own cell number on there, on the website, they would be contacting Eric, to set up appointments and stuff like that, especially if they're driving into the community. I can see people just driving around, and picking up a brochure, but I think if they're really interested in you and the county and things of that nature, that they set up appointment from that perspective. So I'd like to see us do month to month on it. Hopefully, maybe you could find somebody, Chris, to fill that location out. It's a beautiful location. I think Parks Department or somebody like that could go in there. It'd be great. And we don't want to vacate that thing and just leave it abandoned either. I mean, we want to work with the city as much as possible from that perspective. So that's my thinking. I still like to be a little bit more centrally located down the line, and maybe someday we can even have our own building. The other thing that comes into play right now is the the Holiday Inn Express had the water damage, so we're going to lose that revenue most probably for at least 6 months, if not longer, from what I understand. So that's going to be a little dip in our revenue coming in. So we're going to have to subsidize that portion of it for at least 6 months, if not longer than that. So I know we have the funds there in order to do that. I think that's why the funds have been set aside to begin with, from my understanding. So
Exactly.
that was always a big thing. People always
Yes.
ask, why do we have a savings in our, and when I first came aboard, I asked that question too. Like, why do we have that? And he was like, well, what if something would happen with the hotels? They gear toward more of a fire or tornado or some serious.
Well, flood damage, that was never brought up, but it's a good example of why they did it. And it makes perfect sense, because if we had spent every dime we had every year and not really saved back so much, we'd be in a really big bad position this year.
I think we need to keep a retainer there at all times for that.
You should.
Well, yes, we don't need as much as we have right now.
It's a good example of why we did that.
Well, a month-to-month lease would allow us to, if the decision is made to transition to another location, it would give us the ability to work with the city so that the transition is not only smooth, but like you said, we don't leave, if we decide to leave, we don't leave the depot vacant. We could utilize the time on a month-to-month to hopefully bring someone else in there should we decide to leave to take our place. Wes, did you have a comment?
Not necessarily about the depot itself, more about the opening daily and do you need another employee? As a contractor, if we start to set Eric's schedule, it's gonna beg the question of contractual relationship.
Right.
So that's really, if you go to a daily approach, I don't think that Eric can stay in his current role as a contractor and you guys mandate that he is there a certain period of time, even if that's partially during the week. So just keep that, I'm not an attorney, I would, this is my legal disclaimer, go consult with an attorney on this, but that would be something you would have to consider. So if you hire an employee, no harm, no foul. If you start mandating Eric to go to that route, then we're gonna need to revisit the contract and again, question, is it contractual or employment relationship? at that point?
You have a visitor center, I mean, does that rest with the CBD or does it rest with the chamber? Does it rest, where should it fall?
Visitor center should fall under the tourism CVB, I would think, not the chamber, I don't. Because, well, the chamber actually started the CVB. I never knew that with history, but they're the founding fathers of it back in the 90s when it all got started. They were spearheaded a lot. In fact, the chamber director was the CVB director, I think, back in that time for so many years until it branched on its own. And then it's the
Well, so where we are then is, I will reach out to Connie and or Jeff, to talk about the possibility from month to month after April.
Okay, works for me.
All right? Any other discussion there? Okay, moving on, is the marketing committee update. The marketing committee did not meet last month. I know we got a number of things going on with, the website and with the brochure and with our marketing plan for the year. So I'm gonna go ahead and defer that to Eric for his director's report, because I think he's going to address all of those. So, Eric, you're up.
Oh, yeah, we did not discuss it. Steve brought it up, and I could discuss that now as well.
What's that, Eric?
The Holiday Inn.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I passed that, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Well, and I was gonna say,
Holiday Inn ramifications.
That- we got that, notice, I believe Cindy with Y sent out an email on December 23rd or 24th that there was significant flooding in the Holiday Inn. I went there the week after Christmas, and there were people in, I don't know, looked like these hazmat suits and with plastic up everywhere, and I talked to, I guess what was a manager, an employee in the office, and she gave me, the owner's, contact information, and confirmed that they expect the, construction or updates or whatnot, not to be ready, not to reopen until June, hopefully. I reached out to him, sent him an email, and sent him our condolences, and just let him know, we're thinking about him, and asked him for any updates. I think he tried to call, but we haven't connected just yet. But yeah, so
Was that a plumbing issue?
it was a flooding. I think it went upstairs and went down through the walls and everything. So
That,
you would
that's
think if it,
man 24/7 though, if you think somebody would.
yeah, and you would even think if the place, burns to the ground, they could rebuild it by June, but I think, yeah, there is people everywhere in there. So unfortunately, that's going to be it. But it is what it is.
I think they have Surf Pro up there right now. I drove up there as a matter of fact, after Cindy had sent the email, and there were Servpro trucks everywhere. So I'm not sure exactly where the damage is. Is it over the entire building, or is it primarily located in the ceilings, or?
Do we know how much this is gonna affect our revenue?
It's one of the one things
It's probably one of the biggest.
All right, maybe we'll put that on the agenda to discuss next month.
So you could probably get, I don't know if the treasurer would share with you kind of an estimate of what that could be. I don't know if you guys say publicly, but as president, I think you would have access that you sign the confidentiality agreement, at least to give you an idea. If you look at 20, 30, 40, 50,000, I don't know, but I think she could be at least a ballpark.
I think there
without
are
saying too much.
different codes for the different innkeepers, and that you could probably foresee one of the bigger ones, and look at those numbers last year, January through June.
How many long-termers do they house in the course of a month, kind of on average? Do you know that, or?
I think they're more at the other hotels.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. For now they are, but they're probably gonna be a lot, well, you may see, you'll see an uptick in them and cabins too, so if they had any vacancies, it may, I'm not saying it'd be a wash, but it may not be as big, because we're gonna kind of shift one to the other more, if they weren't always, full.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully they
We'll see,
will.
actually.
Fair that.
Any word on the new hotel?
Yeah, meeting coming up with it, so.
We need that as quick as possible.
Yeah.
6 months, we could really go powerful with it. We got the other one open and.
Yeah, a lot going on, but yeah.
Hire somebody to
So if they're not staying in the Holiday Inn, they're bound to be staying at their hotel or the cabins. So we should be getting more revenue off of those.
Okay, so I will,
Probably not gonna be that much.
That's what
I'll see what I can find out about revenue, and we'll, look at the real numbers next month to see what the date is in January. All right, any other discussion there?
And then maybe we get a status report from Chris too.
Yeah, I'll definitely get to have something by then. Our meeting's coming up, so the timing didn't, if I could have had it sooner, it would have worked out, but his schedule's pretty tight. He's been traveling and doing things, so.
Would he be willing to come in for a meeting?
I could ask him if you would like
I
for him
would
to,
love that.
if you would like for him to come to our meeting, if he's available. I don't want to say, I know he does do quite a bit of traveling overseas and stuff for a period even there last month, and if he's available, if the board's okay with that, I'd be more than happy to ask him.
For what purpose?
To show up just for any questions or updates us one-on-one, if you want to put you met him, Brian? You met him?
Yep.
Okay.
Joe?
Yeah. I can remember if you had met him, so I mean, it's up to you guys. I mean, I'll ask him if he wants to come, he can. Maybe he won't be able to make 3 notes, but.
Okay. No, I think it's a good thought. Anything else on the Holiday Inn? All right, moving on to marketing. As I said, committee did not meet last month. I'm going to defer to Eric to provide some updates on brochure, website, marketing plan. So, Eric?
Yeah, so that marketing, I just kind of have this in order, so, we received the 2026 festival guide. We have 1,300 copies of those, actually minus 50, I distributed some of them. But, and are anxiously awaiting the brochure, which should be in either, if not tomorrow, sometime next week. Little bit of a holdup with the altered schedules at the end of 2025, holiday shipping and whatnot, but hopefully we're expecting those any day now. So, website updates. I talked to our graphic designer, website designer, Mary, and we're about a third of the way there. The bones are all there. It's just a matter of getting all the information incorporated. Several of the pages are basically finished. I've seen it. She sent me on December 18th, like where I could log on and see the sample of it, and it looks really good. I know Mayor Kale had requested that, we retain some of the aesthetics of the brochure. Little trees at the bottom. It looks nice.
Good.
So I'm working on right now some video scrolling on a banner of the page and whatnot. So hopefully in 2 to 3 weeks it'll be done. And then it's just gonna be a process of like, updating it, adding to it, building it, this and that and the other. Right now, we do have several publications that are out with the new web address, and they're just being redirected to our current address now. So that's kind of a good thing. If they type that new one in there, they'll go to it. So, if anyone wants to take a look at it too, I don't have it right here. I recorded some of it on my phone, and also Mary, while she's designing it, she kind of shuts it down. She doesn't just let it live. But if somebody would want to see it and take a preview of it, we could let her know, and she can kind of reopen it. So, looking forward to that. One other thing, I have these old logos on my shirt, and I guess I would just like approval. I stopped by, is it R&A Sports, yesterday, and was looking at different shirts, and they also gave me the option of if I find my own shirt, that they could put the new logo on that. So I guess I just like approval on that.
And did you check with logos also?
No.
Yeah, maybe check logos too.
Logos is there on Pell Street, right across the street from Healy's Jeans. They do good work too.
Now, Eric, there'll be a setup fee, and I question whether or not RJL will provide a digitized logo, which would save you $38, basically. I think that's what the setup fee now is for a new logo. I'm not sure about that, but maybe reach out to Jonathan and see if they have a digitized logo.
Are you asking for us to pay for your shirts, or you paying for them?
Yeah, 4 shirts last time, yeah.
Eric, what was your request? Are you asking for us to pay for your shirts, or
Yeah, I
for
guess.
your uniforms, or
Yeah.
or are you okay? I thought
How
you were
many
saying
would you get?
4. Or I could get 3,
Do we have uniforms in the budget? Yeah, you know what, guys, I don't have a copy of the finalized budget. Do we send them out or? And did you get one?
We can take that out of miscellaneous. We gotta continue. I make a motion that he gets 4 shirts with new logos in there.
I'll say it's fine. That was for the shirts, right?
Second,
Brad.
Fred second.
And it's for, did you say 3 or 4?
We got a motion and a second, to pay for 4 shirts. 4 shirts. All agree? Any opposed? That carries. You got 4.
Thank you. With regards to the digital marketing, and I'm still looking into that. I have written a 2026 Perry County marketing plan. I almost gonna hand them out to you guys, but I'm just kind of tweaking that just yet, just kind of a month by month thing, and how we might go about marketing the county. Areas we want to look at. So when we do hire that digital marketing firm, it's going to be our job, my job, to direct them what we want to highlight and how we want to do that. So like right now, we do Valentine's Day and whatnot. But along with that, I need to send out and finish up this RFP and send those out to I have a few quotes for digital marketing, and I've talked to a few other folks, and I'm trying to put together the pieces of the puzzle that entail, one quote I got, if you look into it, is essentially just for organic digital marketing, which is essentially posts, but not having an ad or having, I forget these different like blasts and stuff, and just seeing what we get for our money, what they're going to deliver us. And it's a little, I wouldn't say confusing, but I don't have a background in digital marketing, so I'm learning this. I've talked to a few other directors. I've talked to Mary, she does digital marketing, and I'm gonna talk to a few more. So we're pinpointing that. I wouldn't mind sitting down with the marketing committee and kind of meshing some of that stuff out maybe over the next.
I'm so happy.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
We should do that. Basically, the way I envision this is, let's create the RFP, the request for proposal. Let's finalize that.
Yeah.
Right. Let's make sure that the scope of that RFP covers, we do things like Facebook posts, things like geo-targeting, things like, you know,
Retargeting and,
yeah, retargeting, geo-targeting, making sure that we hit certain demographics and that we have the ability to create a message sent to a particular audience. So, and then once we finalize that RFP, we shoot it out to 2 or 3 or 4 companies, whatever we have out there that we can find. And they either meet the criteria or they don't. And, we just need to stay in control of that, not let them control us,
correct.
what they do.
Correct.
Yeah.
And something else is that, you know, I'm going to the ITA in March. And there are a few vendors there that I would like to talk to also. There are tons of digital companies out there. And those, I think there's 3 there. They specialize in tourism. So I would like to have the opportunity to actually speak with them too while I'm there. And I think, Eric, are you going to be there all 3 days or is it 2
Yes,
days?
correct.
Maybe we can kind of tag team on that.
Yeah.
And then I would love to have a copy of the request for bid form, you know, what we're asking for. Their time frame, you know, any value added, because I'm all about value added, you know, what they can do for us for free. And I just want to be sure that everybody's on the same playing field. But I would prefer that we hold off hiring a digital company until we go to the ITA.
In March.
Yeah. And we're gonna have the website. That reminds me to segue into this. The Pig Perry website. I hate to even say it. So, you know, this organization has fussed about Pig Perry. And they want to break away from that. You know, we have this Pig Perry logo. You know, are we going to use that on the Pig Perry site, or are we going to use the county logo? Or are we going to break apart from that? I'm kind of confused as to how that's going to work. Have you guys thought about that?
Well, Pig Perry doesn't belong to us. It doesn't belong to.
Correct, it's a brand, I
It
understand that.
belongs to PCDC.
Right.
So-
So I don't know how we should proceed with that. Are we going to break away and not even have a tab on their website? You know, are they going to be okay with that?
I don't think
Susan?
that was ever the intention. I think the intention was that we would have a tab. Well, I guess that's going to be up to them.
Right,
Have
that's what I'm
a
wondering.
tab on their website. We would appreciate that. And then we could do a link to the CVB website.
Betty, do you have something?
I can't comment.
Okay,
Well,
so I mean, what do you think, Eric? I mean, would the PCDC be okay with us using the new county logo on their site?
well, I thought, you know, we're a county, we're a board, and we adopted the new logo.
Right.
We have a new logo, it's on our brochure. That's what it's gonna be on the shirt, and, you know, I didn't make that decision, I'm just going with, as I'm instructed, the county adopted a new logo.
Right.
And I still have a great working relationship with the BCDC and Pig Perry, those guys they do more for me than I do for them. You know, I was in there the other day talking to Aaron and Shiraz is gonna help me with some video editing and stuff, and we maintain that, and I do, well, agree or disagree, I did make the decision to have our separate website that just says, this is tourism, this is visitors, this is where to eat, this is where to stay and stuff. I talked to other directors, several other directors, I didn't find one other director, 4 or 5, 6 directors that said, oh yeah, they all said, I would want my own website. We work with these people, we work with DuBois Strong, we work with whoever, but we want our own website. So that was a tough decision to make, because I know there's some hard feelings. But I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, I ask myself the question, what's best for our visitors? and that was what was best for our visitors. So, and I know there's this thing in this county, we're taking sides and this and that. We're not taking sides, we're just having our own website that just says this is us and stuff. And I like PCDC, those guys are great, they've been really good to me. So, you know, and we have a different logo than that.
Brad, you have thoughts? I noticed it.
Looking forward to an atmosphere of cooperation
Yeah,
and just, that's my expectation. That cooperation and professionalism bring in this discussion.
Well, and I think we hopefully we started that a few months back when we donated the trailer. We donated the tables and the chairs and everything back to the PCDC. Hopefully that was with a, in the shirts and the inventory and everything from the depot, I would think that shows some camaraderie there. I hope.
Barry, may I just say one thing? If you would reach out and meet with them, they are great people and they think great things of you. And they want all of you guys to work together. The comment about Pick Perry belonged to the PCDC is totally incorrect. That is not correct. There was a contract and no one owns it. It is a force that, they might pay the bill, but the chamber and the CVB and the PCDC split that bill. That bill was paid by everyone. If you look at past records, you can see where we paid for that. Past minutes, you can see where we discussed that. If you guys would reach out and talk to them and sit down and have a meeting with them, they would love to work with you. And I'm sure that you could all work together. Yeah. They want only what is best for this county. They have never, to my knowledge, been approached and asked to discuss any of this. They wanted everything to stay the same. They didn't want this. I understand the separation. I don't have a problem with that. But I think before you assume that they don't want your logo or don't want your stuff there, I think you owe them the opportunity to sit down and discuss it with them, because you guys are making a decision for them.
Well,
by not reaching out.
We did meet with them about a year or so ago. We haven't met with them since, but it's not that we haven't met with them. We have. There was some friction in that meeting that I still don't understand why. But I did a domain search on Pick Perry, and it's owned by the PCDC.
It has to be owned by one entity, but we all paid for it.
Well, I understand that, yeah.
And we all had a contract stating that we all had an ownership in it.
I haven't seen that, so.
Marketing committee meeting.
So perhaps in conjunction with our marketing committee, the marketing committee could reach out to PCDC.
I mean, that's all I'm saying is that you owe them the opportunity to reach out to them. And then you can say they didn't want to work with me, but you can't say that without asking.
Nobody said that. Who said that? Who said that they didn't want to work?
Eric has continued to work with them.
Yeah, they're great people. They want to work with you guys.
Nobody said that we wouldn't.
Okay, I'll go back and review the comment that was made, and I'll let you know about it.
Well, our board is separate from the PCDC and the chamber.
Yes,
As a board, we don't. But Eric has continued to have a relationship there and work with them.
He works great with them. I know that. I see that every day.
That we gave $12,000 last year for a website for our part. And I for one can say we didn't get our money's worth. So we had to go what was best for us. And I think that's where we are at now. But Eric has maintained a great relationship with Sarah, Aaron, and Shiraz.
Oh, yes.
Or the whole group.
They're great people.
And I think that's important and for the communities and peace. But that's not our responsibility.
And I pined over this too, because Spencer County had a similar situation with, they had an economic development and then RJL and that separation, so it's not just us, and it happened to them, a couple years ago or however long that.
But I'm not talking about putting, doing your website. I think that's a great decision. What I was referring to was the part that you were talking about, like putting your new logo on their side and working with them and continuing that relationship. That is what I am answering to. I think that you should talk to them about that.
Very good.
That's what I can care less about the website.
Yep. Good discussion. Anything else?
Just real quick. So we've got the Louisville boat, or the RV, whatever the show, the travel show coming up, January 28th.
Yep.
Which is a Wednesday to Sunday, February 1st. Please let me know if you'd like to attend. I think I'm moving stuff in on that Tuesday, so it's gonna kind of be basically
What's the dates?
Wednesday, the 28th of January to Sunday, the 1st of February.
It's a neat show. I went to that last year. It was really, really neat.
Are you gonna use you're gonna use the 3 pull-ups and are you gonna take TV up there as well?
I haven't decided about the TV yet. That would be, if you tell me to take the TV, Steve, I guess I'll drag that TV up there. I was hoping to just carry my banners,
See, that's
and my smiling face and my new T-shirt.
You talk about that. And that's why I just remember VCR or VRC or the headsets. You go to one of those trade shows and have that. You can put a short demo mode where people can put that on and kind of give them a tour somehow of our what we've got. Would be really. I know it's expensive, but it'd be kind of neat. I don't see a lot of places doing that yet. There may be reasons why, but it's something. It's outside the box marketing. I'd love to see us try.
We had a video last year, and it would be a matter of just basically changing the logo on that. Get with Steve Calhoun, because that was included in part of our buy for the, whatever it is he does, I'm sorry. I've lost control of that, but, there is, it's actually on our Facebook page. So, yeah. And we have ownership of that, so.
How do you think you can't change the logo?
I want to make sure.
Still works.
We have.
We've got
I need
like
to reach
3
out to them.
conversations going on here.
Yep, sorry. One last thing, today at the Counton Mill, they're having a ribbon cutting / reopen. I was talking to Sarah Zwelly the other day, and it's gonna be at 11 o'clock, 11 to 2, like an open house, grand reopening of the historic cotton mill. While the cotton mill has long been part of the community, its revitalization, represents true development through reinvestment. Anywho, just inviting you guys to go out there.
Is that through Lincoln Hills?
Yes, through Lincoln Hills.
What is the cotton mill?
Yes.
They're re-updating, they redone it 20 years ago maybe, and now they gotta keep up with it, replace cabinets and bathrooms. So don't get too out of date.
What time is that?
That's at 11, and I think the ribbon cutting is officially at noon.
Today?
That's all right.
Today, yes. Today.
That's correct.
Beautiful day for it.
It is.
Hey,
It's a beautiful building. It's truly a gem in the community.
Yeah.
It really is.
Eric, have you thought about the giveaway for our booth? I sent both you and Steve.
Yeah, you got, yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, it'd be a matter of we can actually pay for it.
Yeah, it's an idea. I didn't bring it up, just because, just heard about it the other day. Cause I didn't know.
What was your giveaway? I'm sorry, I might have missed
A
it.
weekend at a local cabin.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And we could go ahead and pay for the inventory that way if they are a no-show or whatever, we need to pay, we're gonna be blocking out a room for 2 nights or whatever. And maybe doing a gift certificate to like the poorhouse or the post or the patio, kind of make it, a sweetheart weekend.
Like go out to Blue Heron or Windsor, Blue Heron?
Exactly.
They've got cabin Airbnb
Yes,
and
they
the
do.
wine, so that's a cool option. And
That would be up to
Heck,
Eric, to cut the
it's a
deal
heck of a
and
view.
what we.
I like that
So-
idea.
And we could do something for the February show. Is that when another one is?
What
I'm
you do
sorry.
is you have a drawing and have people leave their name and number and email, and then you've got their email on a list for,
Right.
that sort of thing, so.
Yeah, but the next show was, when's the other show?
It's at the end of, February.
So maybe we could do something for spring, for the Easter weekend, for that show. But I do think it's important for us to pay for the inventory, you know, for the lodging cost. That's just my personal opinion.
Is that something we need to talk about at our marketing meeting, I guess, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Looking forward. We gotta figure out, make a motion on it somewhere in our decision.
Well, that's coming up, so.
It is.
you know,
Both, well, marketing,
I think we need to
we would set a meeting.
have a decision today on the January
At the
show.
meeting or during the meeting, or let it go matter. Just figure if we don't, we always say we will, then we just, time passes if you don't. Just how it goes, you know.
We can set it up.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion?
I got one question, Eric, on the ITA, that's in March, is that right?
Yes.
And then, what are the dates on that and who's on the team?
The 16th through the 18th, myself and Chris and Linda are doing the 3-day, Monday through Wednesday. Tuesday is the main day, and then Sydney Taylor and I will be attending Tuesday. And that's the main meat and potatoes of the conference is Tuesday. Several different presenters and whatnot.
And I do have the receipts where he has taken care of all the bookings and everything.
Thank you, Eric, for taking care of that too. It's easier for one person to do it than three of us try to figure it out.
Yeah.
With cards and how that works. Thank
So-
you.
So do we need a motion on the giveaway for the show in January? Because this is what, the 8th day of January?
And the giveaways for, is it March?
And
First,
The Louisville.
and then a different one before.
Oh, that's right. Little bookshop.
Yeah, it's kind
I'm
of.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just American signs and the.
Yeah, you can't just really do that. First of all, you have to see which is available and have a particular date in mind, and you have to talk to the owners and make sure they're okay with it.
because I started thinking of that too, logistically,
Yeah,
that
there's just, yeah.
Well, if you did the cabins, what I would do is, well, just, let the date open and then they would need to book it with that cabin when it's available. So
That's what I would do. And give them flexibility. 'Cause
yeah, you can't pick a weekend because
Yeah.
they're recital or basketball game or whatever.
And also dictate a rate with them at that particular time. And the other thing is, if you're gonna do pick a cabin, a different cabin's got different restrictions as far as pets and all of those other, the number of people that can be
Accessibility.
there and all of that. So, it's not just gonna be, well, you can do that cabin. We restrict a lot of things in our cabin, so,
maybe have like 2 or 3 in a budget set and let the person coming down here, if it fits them, you set a budget of say $300, I have no idea. And this is what you'll get. You can get one of these 3 cabins for $300 and these are the amenities that each one offer and you pick your date and, I mean, I've kind of dumbed it down, but something like that.
you gotta be a little careful in there too. I mean, I don't know how you approach them.
Well, it needs to be planned out. It needs to be.
So we go with a gift certificate idea or something in January and then work on this other a little harder before that work.
They wouldn't have to lodge in January. Is that what you mean?
No,
Sorry.
just do a gift certificate.
The lodging is a whole.
Oh,
Gotcha,
These
gotcha.
are usually looked a year out.
Can I make a crazy idea of a gift certificate? Rather than give them a Visa or whatever, what if we done a chamber gift certificate?
Yeah, Eric and I had that
Because I
conversation.
mean, then they at least have to come down here and spend it in our community and then,
Yeah.
I mean, at least that's one little way to
What does
promote.
that consist of?
There's a
Basically, a gift
pretty good
certificate.
list on the back that you can use them at, and it's like, Derby Market's one, I think, right? The chamber member, it's only use that chamber members or business that are member of the chamber. And, I know Walmart's a member of the chamber, but you can't use it at Walmart, which is a good thing, because then Walmart stepped away voluntarily to help small businesses. But there's, Betty, I don't wanna bother you, I know you're not.
There's 80 different businesses they can
I
use
didn't
it.
know the number.
Restaurants, Derby Market, you know,
There might be using some of the cabins.
some of the cabins are on there, the wineries. The wineries.
Gift certificate in Louisville at all these different little restaurants and shops and stuff, and we've been there several times.
How much is the gift certificate?
That's what I was
You
saying.
need,
I'll
you
make
get
the
one.
motion.
Anywhere from $10 up, and I would get as many of the smallest denominations as you can, so they can spend 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, 10 here.
So that would effectively, like, if they won that at the Louisville Boat Show, bring them to Perry County one way or the other.
Yeah.
And then you can track it. You can track where they went and where they spent them. Cindy, they all have numbers, and we would give you the numbers, and then we could track them for you.
So 10, at $10?
Yeah, that sounds
Is
good.
that-
Yeah, $100 worth, yeah.
Everybody okay?
I don't see where that's gonna be much of a value. I mean, if I'm in Lexington, Kentucky, and I go to the Louisville Boat Show, and I get that, I don't think I'm gonna run all the way to Perry County to.
Well, if nothing else, if they don't cash it,
Well,
use
they
it.
would get $100. They would get all of
Yeah, they would get, they
And they
would
can
get,
use them all at one place, they want it.
yeah,
it.
$10, $100.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
$10 equal $100.
This is, gives
So
us
you'd give-
time.
You would
to
give
get
them,
things done.
each one of them would give 10. Yeah, I think.
Yes.
10.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it'd be one
And if-
person getting
In other words, it'd be $100 people.
Just in broken down denominations.
it. And that's just a, plus, yeah, an idea
If
on.
they come, they come, if they don't.
The chamber gets $100 for
Yeah.
their checking account, and they're good for a year. And that's either way, I'd rather the money be spent here than on a Visa gift card at the store in Louisville or somewhere else.
Well, then maybe we ought to do more than
Yeah, so I was thinking a little bit more incentive than
That would
that.
just definitely bring them
Well, I
in.
mean.
Yeah, at this boat show, there's gonna be a lot of competition.
Yeah.
How much you want?
150, 200?
Under myself, but I-
I'm good
Let's
with
do
200.
250.
I think do 3 of them, just do 3.
But I'll go over there and do one.
300, so that.
No, 3.
Well, if we
Well,
did
I'd like
one,
to
then
do
you're gonna
You
get
get
those
more
names
excited.
anyway, yeah. Right? I don't know. I
I'll
would
make
think
a
one-
motion to do
I think
250 gift certificate and in increments of,
That's gonna
Yes,
bring somebody in.
$20.
If somebody lives 2 hours away, they're gonna
We'll
come
leave
here
that
because they're
there.
gonna spend $250.
And have one drawing and do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they can get wine and go out to eat and all that.
So my motion is to spend 250 for Eric to get those gift certificates in whatever increments he gives.
Each, correct.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And nothing else, put in a little gift basket with some things in it, if you find around it, just, you know, if you can do wine or something like that, some just random marketing stuff, talk to Aaron or Shiraz, they've got some stuff to go, you can.
Well, that would be a little harder because this.
Yeah, they can't do out
Yeah.
But the winery can, though,
Yeah,
right?
never mind, good point.
Okay, motion carries. Motion carries. You done, Eric?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
One other thing.
I am going to,
This guy over here,
This guy.
Warren, we had questions for him last month with the gate. That he has got updates for you,
very good,
if that's okay.
perfect. Yep, you're up there, Warren.
Yeah, we're going to just make everybody something.
Okay, first up, I didn't know I was supposed to contact the president to approach you, because I just took that as a sign-up sheet, just like the commissioners and council. I wasn't aware of the changes. The last meeting I brought up an electronic gate at Park Eagles Bluff, and I reached out after the mayor's office gave me the name of the company they use over at Jasper, Astro Security. I talked to Mr. Doug Fisher, who owns it. And my question was if they done also electronic gates or cameras and stuff. And he said he is very aware of where the park's at, and they do not do electronic gates. And he doesn't feel that cameras would work up there unless they was a phone line, some way that they can monitor the cameras because of the location of it. And on top of it, he said he was not even interested in them because they were about 5 months behind on work with their customers they got now. And he did not want to take a new customer on. So I asked him if he could recommend anybody. He said, well, the only person he deals with in this southern part of this area is Thomas Glass. So it goes back to the bid from Thomas Glass. So, and that's where we're at right now. And we're catching a lot of heat because the park is closed. And I mean, people are upset because the park's closed on weekends and it closes at 3 o'clock in the evening.
So what does it take to get this moving?
Money to purchase, get Thomas Glass to go ahead and get this gate under construction. The county, the Parks Board does not, or the budget for the county Parks Board, there's no money in there for anything like that.
Again, remind me again of the cost.
$15,000. The bid was $14,390. I rounded off to 15 because I found with dealing with when we put a cooler in its corners office, there'll be extra expense there that pops up that you wasn't even aware of.
So it's $15,000 for the electronic gate.
Yes.
And do you have any other sources of funding for the project? Nothing yet?
Not right now, because the council, we approached the commissioners and
I think
budgeting is very tight for this year.
From the last meeting, Warren, it seemed to me that this met with some positive feedback from this board. Do we have a feel for how much, first of all, are we willing to contribute to this, and if so, how much?
I don't think we should fund the entire project. I think it should be if it's gonna be anything, it should be a partnership with somebody. I don't know who, the county, I guess, if they can find it somehow.
I think it's a really worthy thing to do, in my view. That park up there's people come.
I mean, we use it all the time too, and I mean, we're catching heat right now. I mean, if a person gets on Facebook, you can see all the comments of people complaining about it not being open. And I understand, I agree with these people. It needs to be open, but at the same time, we gotta have it some way where we can close it down at night, because if not, we're gonna have all kinds of issues up there at night, partying.
And I want to assure everybody, I looked in and talked to Tony again. That gate cannot be tripped by a human or an animal. It will take a literal vehicle.
Is it gonna open swing or is it a slide on rollers?
It's a slide.
Okay.
So are we wanting to discuss funding?
I think we just need to go ahead and fund it and be done with it.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
I just want to set precedents, we fund some, I guess, somebody else comes, like, Tell City Parks Board comes wanting to fund something along that line, and then we set a precedence that we're gonna fund other entities like that. We just gotta,
What would you suggest a partnership, who a partnership with?
I don't know, I think it's important for others to have some skin in the game a little bit, but
What about the city of Hamilton?
it's not.
See, the city of Canton used to police that area, or their police department did, but those days have long gone, because Canton Police Department is, their number of officers they got are a lot less than what they used to be, and they've got other things to do to go up there and police it. And the county has been trying to help out over the several years ago, but they quit because they got other stuff to do too. The deputies can't be running down here to unlock it or open it up and control it there. So the gate would be a way to secure it.
I was actually thinking about this. Do you think the Corps of Engineers would walk across from the dam and close or open that gate? You know?
No.
And it wouldn't be a remote kind of gate where it can be controlled.
It'd be on a timer.
I have, so I went up there yesterday and actually walked some of the trails and stuff. I mean, it's a gym, it is.
Yeah,
And it's closed at 3, which is like, well, if you work or go to school, you can't go up there, and it's closed on holidays and stuff. Like, I know this is kind of a like, if you didn't have a gate there, you could just go up there at any time. I mean, we walk at Tipsaw all the time, and I'm sure there's people in there doing illegal activity. You drive back at Tipsaw and park at dead end or whatever, people drinking but like, and I know there's a glass wall up there of the overlook, there's the restrooms, again, and then the 2 shelter houses and stuff. So there's plenty that somebody could tear up. It just seems like, what if you just had it unlocked? I guess that's just.
Well, we could do that, but then, the question we asked for the commissioners, who's gonna pay for the damages?
Yeah.
'Cause, with it being so close to southern end of the county, you're gonna have more accidents. People's gonna go up there as soon as they find out.
They're gonna know, yeah.
Yeah, and we can't afford replacing those bathrooms. We can't afford new shelter houses. And you're gonna have people camping nighttime on weekends up there, and that's not what the parks are.
So does the Parks Board have any funds at all for this? You got zero money.
The
That's
county, the county even took away the Parks Board. We got, a salary for meetings when we had meetings. And they
It's
did
gonna
away,
get worse this
they did
year.
away even with that $15 or whatever it was per meeting. Or 25, I can't remember what it was. They did away with that because of the budgeting issues.
It's gonna get worse this
Yeah.
coming year because this budget cycle, due to SEA1, we lost some revenues due to considerations they gave to property owners and deductions. And we went by the estimate the state gets for the revenues that we're going to get, which were much decreased from what we would like to have had. This year, we're also going to be losing the revenues that were associated with the personal property tax associated with small businesses. So anybody who does less than $2 million worth of business, or have $2 million worth of inventory, that personal property will not be taxed.
But 17 million, I think, is what last I heard, that overall assessed value that will be reduced by, or something like that.
Yeah. So this year we will lose additional revenues from this process. Now, from what I understand, the way this is my interpretation of what was trying to be accomplished with SEA, number one was that they were trying to give relief to property owners, farmers, and retirees who were having trouble making their property taxes and farmers who have to sell land in order to pay their taxes, et cetera. That was a big push, in the state. And they were going to make adjustments to the local income tax. So there was a source of revenue for any taxes that occurred in the state. But the compromise that they ended up doing in order to pass SEA1 was that they initiated the property tax relief this year and initiated the personal property tax issue the next cycle. And then only after that will the compensation and the income tax adjustments come into effect. So we're losing, and then the adjustments occur. When it would have made more sense to me to do everything at the same time to keep revenues on an even stream. But that's not the reality that we're living with right now. So to expect additional monies from county revenues is, I think we cut so much, like he was talking about, so many things from the courthouse's paper, okay? And things that it's almost unsustainable as it is. So looking for extra expenses or extra revenues for this project, although it is, I'll be very honest with you, it is a bugaboo for county. It's been brought up separately as an issue. He's not open, he's not close up, but is it the good use of deputies' time constantly running up there and then back all the time? And again, it is something that it has been on our radar as an issue that for a while that actually segues into this. So I think the attitude of council would be that, yes, when the revenues become available, we like to see something like this. Or I think it sounds like a great, but the source of that revenue is part of that question.
Well, and I guess what I'm trying to get my brain around, I'm not if the CVB mission were to fund a portion of it, where would the rest of the funding come from?
We have half a gate.
Yeah.
I mean, so
We
this
have
is,
no idea where.
this is a gap stop fee then.
Yeah.
Without this,
Without this.
Well,
I'm just not sure if it's within the scope of the CVB to fund a $15,000 gate for a park. When it's another county entity, I just don't know.
my next concern is, we are gonna experience a loss at the Holiday Inn Resort.
Yeah.
We don't know the ramifications of that yet. I mean, we can get some estimates, some ideas together and learn a little more. I like the idea, I do,
Oh, I do too. I think it's county does.
coolest.
I think county does,
The
yeah.
park is cool as could be. I mean, the little overlook is awesome. There was a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and effort work went into.
That's right.
Dan Adams, I think, was the one that
And a
really
new,
was.
and a
big
new
into
hiking
that.
trail there also,
Yeah.
the Jeremy Farmer's family paid for.
I wish we could have actual camping up there where someone could actually take their RV and camp up there. I don't know what the process on that work. That would be kind of cool one day, but that's even more money.
Well, the Parks Board's concern too is what, like the shelter house, the bathroom, the overlook, glass overlook. We start getting that stuff damaged, tore up. We've got problems, and I can go back several years when kids was going up there and partying, just finding syringes.
Oh, yeah.
Up there,
So-
and it was, and because nobody was actually Counting Police Department drive through every once in a while, but back then Counting had 4 or 5 full-time officers. They don't have that anymore. And it's not really Counting's problem.
So back to the funding, issue. If the CVB were to fund a portion, another funding source could possibly be the Perry County Community Foundation. I don't know if any applications have been done there, but if you're familiar with that organization, it represents numerous foundations. I mean, I don't know, 3 or 4 dozen foundations here in the county where you can apply for funds for that sort of thing. I just don't know that I feel comfortable funding the entire portion. I don't know how the board feels about putting any of it.
I like that idea. Yeah, a lot, yes.
So I know, having had some experience with the Community Foundation, this goes back 2 or 3 years ago, that they funded the playground equipment in Troy, for example, the new playground equipment.
Well, as far as the crowdsource funding thing, it's matched dollar for dollar. You said so many days or to raise the money. I don't remember the process entirely, but I'm
So it's a
sure.
grant.
Yeah, and maybe RJL can help write you a grant for it. I mean, they're helping the other things.
Community Foundation awards grants. In some cases, they're matching, in some cases, they're not.
Yeah.
But, I know.
May take more than one grant, maybe part of them and part of
Well,
them.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, is
You
there
say- someone
we can partner with you?
We can reach out and try and see.
What's the feeling of this board as to the scope of our role in this? I mean, is this something we could fund partially, do you think? I'm interested in what the board has, what you think.
Well, I think part of it is
Maybe
timing.
thinks we all fund all of it.
Is timing. Is that something you guys are wanting to put in now, so it's operable by, I don't know, June 1st? I don't know what the time frame is. Or are you going to seek other grant money, maybe matching grants, and kick that can down the road 6 months?
Well, we can
I mean,
reach out and try to find it. I hate to kick the can down the road that far because, people's trying to use it now and they can't. And when the weather gets warm, there's gonna be more and more people complaining. And I understand their complaint.
I do too. I do
mean,
too.
it is,
Who's opening that gate now? I'm sorry to interrupt. Who, I just,
the the director of the Parks, Department, which we only got one employee right now in the Parks Department. And the hours were cut back because the county said that they cannot pay the overtime because they're always going up before their shift started for the county. And then they would go up afterwards and lock up in the evening. Well, the county says, hey, we can't fund overtime or comp time for this anymore. It's getting too costly. And that's
Man,
what
we're
they
trying to volunteer though. I know.
Oh, I
But,
know,
or,
I
and I would
know.
like to look into.
It doesn't
I don't
take
know,
very long.
Somebody
Every
from,
day, open and close.
Right, 7 days a week.
Sorry.
I would like to look into to grants and whatnot.
And my suggestion would be to look at
Take some people's brains.
look at the Community Foundation Board, look at the Perry County Community Foundation, look at, I think it was a good idea to talk to RGL.
Yeah.
See if they could help write us a grant
Yeah,
application. for
Eric
that.
will use,
And then if we could, if the board, if this is palatable to the board, perhaps we could fund part of it.
You might need a match grant. You might say, hey, we've got these grants, but they require so many dollar match, and then that's where we could come in
Yes.
and help you get that, cause you,
and is Eric going to spearhead that effort?
well, I think it needs to be the Parks Department. They're just looking for money.
Yeah, it's not Eric's deal.
Yeah, I think
Or RJL, I
I mean,
mean,
to
they're
work
they're, that's what they're hired for, I think, that kind of stuff, I think. Part of their scope, I think, right, but. I didn't, you may have said this in the last meeting, is once they build this gate, it's great, the $15,000 is done. Is there a recurring fee monthly or yearly on that?
No.
Okay, no. Some of these require that, like, and I know, make sure if you're gonna have that, make sure you have the money to pay it, your monthly bill for the service, you know, some of that.
well, the county, Parks Department pays for the utilities right now for up there, so the electricity.
Oh, yeah, with electricity, I just, like, if you have cameras, I mean, sometimes there's a fee for that monthly, and I just.
So all we're talking about now is the gate.
Yeah,
Well,
the cameras,
That's what the gate had.
yeah, the cameras, we're gonna have to wait and see, if we get a gate and it does the job that we're hoping it'll do, we maybe won't need cameras. If not, somewhere down the line, then we're gonna have to try to come up with cameras. And again, that's another budget situation that's right now.
Well, my suggestion would be to talk to, RGL and also talk to, I think it's, Emily Albee. Emily Albee is in charge of, she used to be.
Yeah.
In charge of the Perry County Community Foundation.
She's upstairs, City Hall.
And then we can pick this back up.
Okay, I appreciate it, but like I said, we need to get something done with it because we're getting a lot of Perry County is complaining about it being closed.
Maybe somebody donate to it.
Well,
I'll volunteer to unlock it for you.
Yeah, is there a phone line in that building? Do you know?
I don't know.
You get internet.
Cindy, you're on the,
What is?
election board, do they have a phone line up there on that building? I don't think there's one up there.
Do they use a hotspot card
Yes.
up there? So that, but does that work well?
Oh.
So if you wanted an internet service, a hotspot would work.
Well,
But there's
for
a fee every
cameras.
month. Well, the bandwidth may not be strong enough for cameras. I don't know.
All right, moving along. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks. I'm gonna summarize a few things here. To summarize, I'm gonna discuss with German American, what options we may have to create a direct deposit for our director. I'm also gonna talk with the city clerk or the city attorney, regarding our lease at the depot. And I will also reach out to the county clerk to determine if she can give me any information as to the ramifications of the Holiday Inn closure. Anybody else have anything? Yeah, I'm ready. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Good job, Mr. President.
I found out about that this morning.
Surprise.
Yeah, thank you all.